Described as witty, charming, intellectual, and energetic, don't even begin to describe the many facets of C.J. Smith. As speaker extraordinaire, C.J. uses visualization and humor to deliver refreshing, real-life, everyday situational conversations designed to inspire, uplift, and educate. Conversations designed for young adults through those in their senior years. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my distinct pleasure to welcome to the platform this afternoon, Ms. C.J. Smith.
Thank you, sir. So, character plus academics equals education. Character plus academics is the true test of education. Martin Luther King Jr. My mother was an educator and a nurse. So, growing up those formative years, we always had books, magazines, and periodicals. When my mom was in nursing school, we had those books that would show you anatomy, physiology. So I went to school. You could imagine the conversations around recess. Everybody else was talking about Dick and Jane and Cat in the Hat. And I was letting them know that, did you know your muscle system can support the bones and the bones can support the rest of the organs? That was my conversation at recess. It normally always had something to do with the human body, with anatomy, and with medications. Her books were full of pills, colors of pills, different shapes. So once again, while regular people were talking about regular things, I was talking about medication. I was talking about the colors and sizes of pills. So I've always been interested in teaching and in education. So in college, I realized very early on that I was not interested in teaching. First of all, I did not even like kids. So how was teaching? You laugh, but I know your stories. So I realized early on that I didn't like kids. So I thought I would pursue the nursing degree, because that's what my mom did also. And I have a heart, compassion, helping people. And I realized that I was deathly afraid of needles. So at that point, I realized I'm going to have to do something else. What else could I do to combine teaching and nursing? So I chose health education with an emphasis on the community. Plus, that's where the football players hung out a lot of the times, because they were in athletics and PE and education. So my mama didn't raise a fool. So with that being said, as a professional life coach, I believe that change happens from the inside out. I've been a coach since 2008. I picked the Institute for Professional Excellence in Coaching, and I believe that coaching is a viable alternative or option to all those other breakthrough modalities. And to me, coaching is just so innocent. It's conversation, it's unbiased, non-judgmental, and it's conversation that I believe can help move you through life. One of those areas that I'm interested in, I just said education, it would be education. I currently facilitate a class for Aurora Public Schools. They have an Office of Equity and Engagement, and I am one of their facilitators. And what that means is I talk to their new teachers, I talk to their staff. One of the things that the district was working on was to make sure that everyone in that school setting had some leadership training, had some diversity training, had some equity training, had some inclusion training. So for the last 5 years, that's what I've been doing. And I'm very passionate about recognizing that we're no longer a community of two colors of people. We now have become so diverse. We have become, the landscape of the world has changed, the landscape of our educational system. And I don't believe that there's personally anything wrong with education. We need that exchange of information. It's the ways in which it's administered. So with Aurora Public Schools, which is the most diverse school district in the U.S., you can check that out on their website. When I facilitate the classes, when I first started, the teachers were somewhat older, somewhat set in their ways about how they thought education could take place. So that was a little hard for me. I told my husband, I'm not trying to look a gift horse in the mouth, but I want to talk to people who want to talk to me. I want to talk to people who can move the conversation forward. I want to talk to people who have means and access to move the conversation forward. So that's where I consider myself a conduit. I consider myself one of those people who sees a situation and tries to do my best to correct it. So with the educational piece, I've been facilitating, like I said, for the last 5 years. And within those 5 years, I've seen a lot of changes, and I've seen a lot of conversations come and go about the color of our skin and what we contribute to the world. And what I want to say to you is, I believe that I'm the conduit to make that conversation happen. So with my wit, my charm, my intelligence, and my energy, I believe that I'm a perfect candidate for that conversation. Because please realize that it's a sensitive topic. You have to realize that the color of our skin and the ways that we contribute to this world as humans is under scrutiny right now. And I believe that I have the capacity to have that conversation streamlined, to have that conversation really mean something, not only for our students, but for our parents and for our community. I believe that we have to stop throwing our students under the bus. There's only so much that they can do as students when you go into a home environment where there's not anything conducive going on. I believe that as parents, we are their first teachers, and our homes are their first classrooms. So I want to do everything I can do using all the skills that I believe I've been given naturally to promote that conversation. I had just finished a program called Strong African American Families, where I was able to work with 5th grade African American young boys and their parents. I was actually part of the conversation with the parents. So that is something that I'm really, really passionate about, is having the conversation with the parents. So if that's part of some conversation that you think your organization or your school district needs, please keep me in mind the next time you have that opportunity. I believe if not me, then who? And if not now, then when? Thank you.
Thank you, CJ. Thank you very much.